Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Friday the 4th. One of those weather forecasts that you look out the window and I think it says everything just at the moment. Been watching what's happening over the last 36 hours with this sort of waving front that's tracked up from France. And certainly 24 hours ago, it looked like it was going to be much further east. And we would have a sort of clear day, but perhaps a bit overcast and better to the west. It seems to have squeezed its way further west, and there's a little wave on it just at the moment, which I think is giving us this rain. It will clear at some point today and slowly drift to the east eventually. Whether we'll get far enough away to sort of give us some soaring and get into the soarable weather out to the west is another matter, really. But you can see there's a little ridge building here as well, keeping those fronts at bay for a little bit, but they're sort of creeping in slowly, dying affairs over the weekend. So fingers crossed we'll get something Saturday. In terms of the TAFs, Farnborough, scattered at 4,500 feet is rather optimistic. More likely what you've got this tempo between 7 and 4 o'clock this afternoon, 8,000 meters rain and 30% probability this morning, between 8 and 12 showers and rain. You look further east, then Gatwick seems to have a more sort of solid picture of rain for most of the day. So we are right on the edge of it, really, folks. Winds, they're talking about northwesterly. I think northerly most of the day, but fairly light, 4 to 5 knots. It's easterly at the moment, but I think that will swing around probably by the time this clears and we do go out flying. Upper winds are northwesterly, not strong, middle of the country, 5 knots down over us. Maximum 10 at sort of 2,000 to 3,000 feet, looking at this forecast and other predicted data. SatPic really shows most of what you need to know. There's this sort of trailing, waving front, and you can see it is slowly clearing through, but it is tracking up this way as well. So it is a very slow, gradual process towards us, and the rain is the same. It's quite intense just in places here and down here, but you can probably expect this to be our clearance here sometime in a couple of hours' time. We'll see the rain slowly drying out, and an edge to the cloud, hopefully, and a chance to go flying. Temperature wise, there's quite a split in different parts of the country. This is this afternoon. It's still going to be quite cool under the rain, 13, 14 degrees. 18s and 19s, I think, out to the west. So if you're sort of 50, 60 miles west of us, it's going to be quite a nice day, quite a good soaring day. I just don't feel at the moment it's quite going to reach us, but we'll see. Soundings, I've looked at 2 of them. This is our midday sounding, both lines together, looking pretty grotty, really, at that particular time, and then move it on till 4 o'clock, and it doesn't actually look much better. Sort of beginning to open up a little bit, and I think by 7 o'clock things drying out. And if you look further west, you can see quite a good picture. This is sort of west Bristol area, just south of Bristol. You'd expect cloud base to be sort of 3,500 feet, maybe a little bit more. Dew point's much lower. So good air mass out to the west. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure we'll be able to either see it or get to it today. Top Meteo suggesting the same sort of thing. This is the thermal map. You can see quite nice out here by 11 o'clock, 3,000 foot cloud base, and getting better as the day goes on out to the west. really, they're talking here a line from, I suspect, west of Salisbury, Sherborne area, 1600 meters. But we're still plagued with this front, and I think that's probably about right. Drying out here by early afternoon, becoming flyable, but perhaps the soaring weather getting close enough maybe later in the afternoon to sort of tease and tempt us. Cloud amounts. And I think this is probably right, showing us on the edge of the rain. The lower cloud here really until 1, 2, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It slowly clears through and drifts off to the east. So I think, yeah, we'll get something this morning, or something this afternoon, folks, but as to when that clearance will be, I just don't know, to be honest. Just keep looking out the window. Cross country wise, I just don't think it's going to clear far enough this way to actually allow us to get, and I think maybe until very late afternoon if we were really, really lucky. Okay, airspace wise, actually it's quite quiet. Two things going on mainly. This is all paragliding all the way down through here, so don't need to worry about any of that. The Keevil danger area is active till 2 o'clock this afternoon. Obviously the military go home for a half day on a Friday. And there's a red arrows display very late afternoon up in Warwickshire. So the timings on this one are for today 18:10 to 18:50, and it's on again tomorrow at 12:55 to 13:35. So one to be aware of. Apart from that, very, very quiet in and around this area here. Operationally, folks, I think do get out there later. It'll be on 27. I've not had any notifications of jet movements or PA-31s or King Airs coming in, so it should be quiet on the 2EE front. We'll keep an eye on the weather and see what happens when the rain stops. Okay, folks, short and sweet. Let's just hope we get something for this afternoon.